Hello there everyone and welcome back. We had ourselves a victory in my second match, which is definitely, if nothing else, a big improvement from my first embarrassing match that I had starting up with this multiplayer series. So, there is a lot to do as far as keeping it consistent and of course improving my play, because I got some really good value out of the Manticores. It's just really trying to make sure I'm a little more aggressive with the torpedoes so I can get as much damage as possible out of them. Although I did learn some ideas on how to preserve my ammo if I am taking risky shots with it, as made apparent when I tried boosting with it. It hinders my firepower, which also hinders the amount of missiles I fire, so there's some interesting tricks I can do there for like just baiting out maybe chaff or flak or anything, with maybe if it works with my manticores and guided missiles as well. I can bait out missiles by firing only 2 salvos if it cuts their missile fire as well in half. So everything with guided missiles could theoretically double their longevity if I'm worried I can't get the proper damage I want or don't have a follow-up. So I'm seeing a lot of nice little nuances you can do with this fleet here. And I'm hoping I can improve on it for this next upcoming match. We shall see. Alright, it is showtime, and we're fighting someone that's definitely higher level than me. I've seen this symbol before. It has a green color, so this is probably a rank up from that. So, where he's multiple levels ahead of me, or just like 2 or 3, I couldn't tell you. So I'm worried about this matchup. So if nothing else, my dream is to make sure I at least put up a fight. That is what I would like. That's all I can hope for, right? Because there's still much to learn, and I still haven't really had the time to really test out the sweeper in like a custom game or something, so I still don't know how effective it can be, or if it can use that chaff field more than once. Something like that is really damn important to know, and unfortunately I am coming into this completely uncertain. Oh, there is a chaff function. I wonder if that's new from an update or something. I don't recall seeing this chat text bubble here before. I wonder if that tells me he has a lot of ships over there. Because it seems like there was a really big delay. Oh, this looks like another adamant fleet. I want to say it may be an adamant fleet. We'll have to find out. Because if this is going to be the regular thing, it's nothing but a bunch of adamants, then I could theoretically have ideas how to punish it. It's just going to be tricky to do. Also, elevation is important. Let's just try and dodge any dumbfire torpedoes if they are adamants, because if he's going that route, that means he has a lot of fighters available to him. So, not really certain what my plan is here. It's going to take a little bit of trial and error. My Manticore or my Minotaur, I'm doing it again with swapping the names, but my Minotaur arguably has the firepower of 2, maybe 3 of his adamants there with these artillery cannons. If I can get all 6 of my broadside weapons to fire as well as the artillery, then at least that accounts for 3 of his weaponry. It's just a matter of how to deal with his heavy amounts of missiles and all his fighters. That's the big trick without really some way to easily deny him. So I'm going to have to resort to spreading out the damage as much as I can. Hell, I may even have to let the adamants take some of the missile salvos for me. Because this is kind of telling me he's trying to aim his torpedoes. We shall see. I'm already lowering my ship, so I might be okay. We will see. Again, it's going to take a little bit of trial and error. So, this tells me, this answers my question. Unless he's a Cylon fleet, those are all adamants there. With a Manticore. Although, does the points line up? Adamants are like, what is it, 600 or 750 points, I think. So, he may not actually be able to afford it. So, those could be Talons, if that's the case. But, either way, we know they're carrier ships, so this Manticore cannot be isolated, and I do have good weapon coverage, at least, with my adamants and Minotaur. And also, let me get that a little bit higher, because if he does have torpedoes, I'm kind of still suspecting this may be a Cylon fleet. I can't remember the point cost, but if they were adamant, so 750, so that's what? That's like almost 4,000 right there for those 5 if those were all adamant, so this has to be a Cylon fleet, so those are probably Talons, which are only carrier ships with good broadside weaponry. So, in comparison, they are almost exactly like my adamants, they just don't have missiles. And there's probably a Nemesis up there trying to be used as a spotter. We will see. He is trying to defend the Nemesis though, looks like. So we're going to try and do a little bit of spy of our own. The one good thing I have going for me is I did not give away at least how many carrier ships I have. So he is left guessing a little bit as to what I have available. I just got to raise my altitude because it looks like he's going to try and do some hacking potential here if this is a Cylon fleet.
On it, Commander.
And I want to be able to spot that to maybe fire some missiles at it. It remains to be seen if it is a Nemesis, which is basically like my Manticores. It just, instead of having rear fire weapons, it has like a hacking system available to it, which is what makes it a little bit different here. So my elevation is good for his Talons potentially, but still want to try and do some damage to that thing,
On it, Commander.
Nemesis, if it is it. If that is what it actually is. Because the hacking can come from any angle. He just has to get through my firewall, which is a... I don't know what he's talking about torps, but oh well. I need to fire torpedoes first. So we'll see. Let's see. He has fighters defending there, so I should probably have my adamants launch the fighters. I should be okay for now, but he thinks has torpedoes, I guess. We will see. It could also just be intimidation tactics there, talking about writing a guide for his game and all that. We'll see. I have no idea what I'm doing anyway, so I can only hope, again, I put up a bit of a fight.
Yes, sir.
This is going to be slow and tenuous, though. Because my only thing I'm not really sure of is how to deal with these all these fighters. I'm not really sure what's the best way to engage them or destroy them effectively. I do have 2 Viper squads to help with that, but so long as I gain fission, I'm okay. We'll see. I'm still going to hold off on my 2 fighter squadrons for now, because we already know that with 4 of them, my Vipers get wrecked insanely quickly. They can do damage to them though, but should I wait until he gauges my cruisers and then launch them? There's a lot of questions that I'm not certain about. But he seems to think torpedoes, so I don't really have any torpedoes of sorts, so doesn't really matter to me. If he's going to make assumptions for someone who doesn't know what they're doing, that's fine. I just can count on the fact that if he does not have if he has a Cylon fleet and those are all Talons, he has very limited missile weaponry. So he did spot me, I guess. I can launch my fighters really quick. And he's trying to hammer me down with these ships. Now, is there any way I can have these ships kind of defend each other? That's what I would like. Have them defend each other. Because he does have fission now, so I can unload full fire potential.
On it, Commander.
And again, I probably am going to die because of these damn fighters alone, just because I have so little experience fighting them. We'll see. I'm going to have to go full defensive. Try and see about defending this some. Actually, you should just keep moving forward and hopefully your rear guns can do some damage. And if you can, just turn around, because he did spot me with those fighters, which, if I can deal with those things really well, that's a good deal of his power gone. With all those ships being carrier ships.
Yes, sir.
It's again a question of how to kill him efficiently, because I feel like all these are basic Raider squadrons, so this is a Cylon fleet. This is without a doubt a Cylon fleet. And I was not paying attention. Were those Talons turning towards me? Because I kind of want to fire torpedoes. I really do want to fire torpedoes, so... Gonna put some pressure on. This is probably not gonna work out, though. Because it's hard to say he's facing. But if he's gonna get aggressive, I might be able to get away with it. I wonder... I would like to use my boosters, but... the boosters really hinder my ability to turn. That's the only problem there with that. Also, what's your arc like? You can fire full, and that shouldn't affect your turn too much.
So say we all.
So let's see what happens, shall we?
IFF confirms unit is hostile.
So those torpedoes are going. He
Missiles
is moving
incoming.
up, which is fine. I have Vipers coming out. He is doing damage to my rear. So keep doing damage. Gotta keep in mind that I am flying towards his Talons, but I could slow down my speed
Yes, sir.
to kind of delay that some.
Understood.
Torpedoes unfortunately are a miss, but that's kind of okay for now. And I do see the Nemesis up top, so we'll just scare it off a little bit.
Yes, Commander.
Scared off slightly. I don't see any way he can chaff. Well, that could have missiles, or it could have like a missile defense system, so I could attempt to fire it. I'm going to intimidate it because he's probably going to hack me right now. If he has the range, he's going to hack me. Let's see, damage on the rear armor is quite notable here.
Understood.
But it's still taking hits relatively well. Just gotta make sure its rear doesn't continue to get hits. Now focus fire
Yes,
on this one ship. It's one fighter squadron. It's really hard to tell what to focus on, since they're all in such a clump. So I have to assume the first one, the one closest to it, is the one they're all gonna hit. That's the only assumption I can go with. And again, with his Talons, they have no missile weaponry. Their front and rear armor is pitiful, if I can somehow hit that, but they are durable everywhere else. I just gotta make sure I can hit it somehow. So he is moving away. That is basically free damage. I just forgot to turn my Minotaur and Manticore around, which is kind of okay.
Yes, Commander.
Because if I turn away from him, I do face my rear to him, but at the same time, it gives me time to avoid his main fleet. So, let's try and do damage. Continue to do damage, keep an eye on my health. Rear armor is good. He basically spent an entire turn flying away from me, so I kind of want to recall them, because he may be trying to surround me now. I don't know how well this is going to work, because if they run away like his Raiders does and he attempts to attack, I'm basically just committing suicide. Ooh, I actually need to commit to attack. Find the one with 11 health, because I nearly killed one of his squads, which is good. I think I should... This is probably a bad idea, because he's now kind of in my blind spot, in all honesty, and I don't know what his move's going to be with those fighters just yet. So, try and do what we can with these fighters, scare them off, because his Nemesis hasn't been doing anything just yet. These are turning to a better position so I can fly away from them, because again, these Talons are exactly like my Adamants, almost. There may be subtle differences, so I could comfortably say that if I'm not in range of him, which he's more than a turn away from me, he shouldn't be able to hit me either. That's the theory. That's my plan of attack. I just need to kill these things, because with all these Talons, he has a lot of fighter squadrons, and we saw the damage it already did on the Manticore. Mind you, it was isolated, and it will wear me down, because I think they are really good at hitting my vulnerable spots. So that I need to be careful of, as everything turns. He is splitting up his fighter squadrons though now. And right now, I'm not in really any risk, but his nemesis, its rear's gone. I like that. I don't think I'm going to hit the rear anymore, but let's keep scaring it. Keep scaring it, keep chipping it down, and keep an eye for anything I can do. Hell, I could almost boost if these things, I don't have faith these things can do damage they need to these fighter squadrons. My Vipers are spread out a little bit, but they do have support. They do without a doubt have support, so that should easily negate it. Any disadvantage they may have. Again, there's so many uncertainties because I've been unloading on them for like 3-4 turns basically, and I don't think I killed a single squad just yet. There was one that was damn close, mind you. I think it may have actually died, but I'm not sure. And I'm going to fire missiles on that. The one on the bottom, so I should be safe there. Do I fire a second missile salvo? I should. I should seriously fire a second salvo. Really intimidate this thing. Since that is vulnerable, I can gang up on it, and these Manticores are doing well, at least helping with dealing with the Raiders. They get front and forward weaponry, so I'm confident they can do damage. It's just the front gun is more for firing at other capital ships since it's only a single gun. It just doesn't want to tell me how many of them I have. So that's something I need to do between videos, quite frankly. Start testing all this and know their real limitations.
Yes, sir.
Also, he does still have missiles on the Nemesis, so I need to be ready for that. I don't know what kind of missiles they are, mind you. I haven't seen anything at all to suggest it's an actual threat. I just know he's multiple levels ahead of me. And he is starting his hack now. Ooh, he has only one missile there, so that's not very fearsome at all. But he is shooting down my missiles really well. Interesting. So the Vipers have the ability to shoot down missiles. Let's see if we can deal for our little friend here.
Understood.
If he's using them just strictly for missile defense, fine.
On it, Commander.
But this is really good to know.
Yes, sir.
I just gotta get my firewall back up because this firewall is basically my health pool. My health for protecting my subsystems. Once that's gone, then he can start randomly damaging all these other systems, which I don't know if he can choose them or not, but he has that ability. Now, this may be a mistake unloading torpedoes. But right now, these raiders are getting demolished. My Vipers still have plenty of help. And he is using high vantage point to kind of deal with my lack of firepower at it. But his raiders are slowly dying. I got good firepower. He's taking an eternity for his turns, and some of my missiles are going to hit. Torpedoes are probably not going to do the damage, though. I should second guess that. Second guess the torpedoes and try getting close, though. Turn off aggressive posture. Maybe that'll help with my mobility some. This is getting hacked, so keep on moving away. And where's my third Manticore? I do need to learn to try and rotate the camera some. Let's see, I have one here. Okay, that one's the one that's turning around with torpedoes. That one's running away, and the other third one's also turning around. So, make sure the heights are elevated. Gotta be mindful of those Talons. They're not going to do any damage anytime soon. But we got some hull damage. God damn it. I did not see the damn collision course. It was green, damn it. It was goddamn green.
Understood.
Oh well. If we could trade for his Nemesis, we're okay. That's a shame, though. I was watching that too. It's the dang latency again, isn't it? Causing that. I still got a lot of raw firepower. His raiders are... Let's see. That raider squadron is pretty much gone against my... Are these my Mark II Vipers? Doesn't want to tell me. Oh well. I'm going to have to look at the replay to see how I didn't see that collision course, because yeah, it's supposed to turn red like that when there's an actual
Yes,
collision
Commander.
course, so I find it weird it didn't show. Oh well. Let's get ready to fire on these things here. Oh, I can even check the status of his fighter squadrons, at least for the 2 that are revealed. And he is going to start trying to hack me. So gotta get ready for that. And what's my range looking like? So he is in range now, so he is without a doubt going to start turning. So let's change our priority of attack for now. I don't know how many fighters he has left until I reveal all the other ones, but I can do a lot of damage here. He still has 3 Raider squadrons there, though. And torpedoes are going at that one, so I kind of want to engage that.
Understood.
I kind of want to engage that. Try to, anyway. Its rears. This is the one that took the rear damage, though, so I need to be careful of that. And apparently, I guess he knew which ones my Vipers were engaging or something, because this is out in the middle of nowhere. Interesting. Oh well. Let's see. That's going to hit the Talon.
Hostile unit identified.
That was a massive amount of damage.
Manticore is taking damage.
So that thing is murdered.
Yes, Commander.
Now we just gotta boost and get the hell out, I guess. Dodge as much weaponry as we can.
So say we all.
While we try to defend our fleet here. So he's gonna start hacking me.
So say we all.
Firewall's almost gone, so that has to go full defensive posture. Because I think he's targeting the fire control right now. So, if possible, focus fire this thing here. I don't know how easy it is to do. But, let's see, I'll have missiles back up next turn. And I did a lot of damage to that one Talon there. It's just unfortunate. He seemed to know exactly which one I was targeting. I could have just switched the targets, I guess. But would it really tell him which one I'm attacking? Aside from the fact he's taking damage.
Manticore is taking damage.
Come on, Animates, kill that one off. Nice. I don't know how useful it was, actually.
Minotaur is taking damage.
Minotaur is taking damage, so that's from the rear, so dang fighters are hitting me. Fire control is getting hit. So it's just the rear, is it? I wonder if I can have the Adamites try and get behind it then. We're gonna try something new here, folks. As far as like changing my positioning and firing. We'll see. Try and spread the damage. Since he's so fixated on this thing, I want to try and do tactics to keep it alive. And also, Nemesis is hacking. It's a bit of a threat, but it's probably not the biggest threat in all honesty. It's just more of an annoyance, if anything else. If I were to be honest, so I may not want to engage that. We'll see. So this can turn around. Maybe do some frontal damage. And this is going to target... Well, it's going after my Manticore still, which... As much as I hate that, it's kind of okay.
Is confirmed.
Kind of okay with that. So let's see how this works out.
Minotaur is taking damage.
Oh, the rear. Good God, this thing's dying just because of its rear.
Friendly unit is down.
Okay, Minotaur just died. That's unfortunate. I thought I had more time to keep it alive. So those things got a lot of damage to them. Apparently.
So say we all.
So do not underestimate that damage potential. And I don't know how much the fighters hindered me there. Because yeah, since all this hacking means not there, but I'm going to die really quickly if I don't deal with these things quickly. And I'm going to assume these things got 6 broadside weaponries, do they? Hard to really say. They have 2 on top, 3 on the side. That's all I really know. And the Manticore needs to try and contribute. So time to go full attack there. Focus fire the Talon. Make sure that thing dies relatively quickly. And hope my Vipers are up for the task. Probably not, considering they're outnumbered. We'll see what we can do. Because I am missing out 2 Manticores, which means less missiles for that attack.
Understood.
It stands to reason I could have killed that Talon there, so... Now, the only thing I can do here is try and spread out the damage. At least attempt to. And if I can kill this thing, I would like that. Nope. He's just focusing that one down, so...
Friendly unit is down.
Yeah, that was his strategy all along there. If I had the Manticores with the extra missiles, this would have been dead. Maybe the Minotaur would have survived, so... A little unfortunate. And I don't want to just shoot at that when it only has, like, no damage potential to it. Yeah, 2 extra Manticores would have been nice for damage, but yeah, you can tell they're going very simple strategies there. Nothing really ingenious. Something I could abuse with good flanking potential. And also being able to read their movement some. Like, just turning this adamant around will keep it alive for a turn. Potentially. Probably not very well, mind you, because it's not really going to be doing much damage itself. And boosting is a bad idea. But we'll see how that spreads out the damage, because clearly he has enough firepower to immediately kill one of my adamants there. I'm regretting.
Yes,
let me just fire torpedoes at that. It's not a good idea, mind you, but
Understood.
I want to try it because I doubt he's going to shoot at this very much. There, that's gone.
Manticore is taking damage.
Manticore is taking hits, but the damage is getting spread out a little bit. Don't know how I can follow it up though, mind you, but it is taking damage. And there he is, well no, he just moved those fighters away. Here's what he's doing. Let's see, that has no rear armor. I pretty much lost this, unfortunately, but I wonder how much the collision messed me up, in all honesty. Because my front and rear is almost gone, so there's very little I can actually do to protect myself. If you can just hit the sides. So let's just try and do what damage we can. It's really all I can do, I suppose. So get them nice and low. And of course, since these towns do have top-facing weaponry, I don't know about bottom-facing. If I can get below them, then I avoid a good portion of their damage, which is something I can do too.
Adamant is taking damage.
It is going to die though, without a doubt.
Squadron has gone dark.
It is dodging most of the fire. Survived 2 turns as opposed to my one adamant, which survived only didn't even survive a turn.
Understood.
So there's something to learn from there. Maybe not much, but there's something to learn there. So fire control is down. Gonna have to turn off your ability to fire, because you can't even shoot missiles now. So let's see if we can just preserve this thing. Keep it alive as long as possible.
Understood.
Well, this continues its damage.
Adamant is taking damage. Friendly unit is
Nope.
down.
Unfortunate. Oh well.
Manticore is taking damage.
I dislike those kind of basic simplistic fleet comps, because there is a flaw to them there. It's just, like I said before with these Talons, they have no armor on the front or rear, so if I have a well-placed Manticore to make it, again, uncomfortable and awkward for him, I can do a crap ton of damage to him, especially if I had my torpedoes up this turn. Although, he's already turning to face me. So let's just try to see what we can do here. Probably not a lot, unfortunately,
Manticore is taking damage.
because he is shooting fully at me now. Oh well, that's game. I do wonder what the collision did to hinder me. Because apparently he was relying entirely on his ability for the Talons to do damage. And they have a lot of firepower, that's for sure. Oh well. It's like I said, I think those fighters survived a little bit too long. I had lots of opportunities to shoot them and do all that, but there was potential there. Again, it comes down to how can I get aggressive with the Manticores in that matchup. Because the Nemesis was staying at maximum range. I did do good missile damage to it, mind you. I'm just curious how his Raiders were able to shoot down the missiles, because it seemed like my Vipers didn't do the same thing, right? I don't recall seeing them from my, my Vipers when the Minotaur was taking torpedo hits or missile hits from last episode, so I'm curious why the Raiders were able to do that. Because torpedoes there easily fire, but they're not going to hit anything, sadly. Not that it mattered, I didn't burn all my missiles anyway. And hell, my Vipers were launched there, and there was only a single missile, mind you. So that's going to be the main trick. If I can get the adamants in front, spread out the damage, and figure out how to avoid damage, mind you, that'd be nice. Because again, Nemesis is taking hits from the missiles, so I could just straight kill that thing. And I do like the maneuver to turn away from his Talons while I continue to chip down his Raiders. I think that was better for me to be able to soften up his Raiders as much as possible there. He was shooting at the Manticores though, which again is kind of fine, because again, if I do an attack run on his front and rear, it's not like he can hit the rear armor very well anyway. I do need to look at that replay again though, because I don't recall seeing any red indicators for a collision course. Mind you, I did change it last second there, which didn't give me a lot of time to actually see it coming, but when the real engagement did start, we saw how quickly those Talons can die with good missiles, especially torpedoes. So, not really much else to say. We even got first blood as a result of that massive torpedo hit on the front. Which goes to emphasize my point with the Manticores. If I could somehow squeeze out more torpedoes, maybe that would be good. Because I feel like there is a big flaw to just going all the same type of ship and having them all grouped up together like that he's doing. I feel like there's a bit of a flaw that I can exploit. And again, I told you before, there's like no armor on the front and rear of those things. And most importantly, I need to know how my second adamant survived multiple turns, yet the first one died immediately. Was it range? Was it because he had aggressive posture? That's what I'm curious about. There's a lot to learn here as well. Nonetheless, we did, despite having 2 less Manticores, we did get first blood. That's a big deal, quite frankly. Because it emphasizes what I said. I could probably win that exchange if my Manticores are in the right position to hit them with missiles and torpedoes. The torpedoes, without a doubt, did a lot of damage. They were definitely worth their weight in gold at the first attack. Sadly, they can't do a whole lot for 3 turns unless I can just keep them still for like maybe a slow, constant firing. But that was match 3 there. Still a bit to learn without a doubt, but I am just mostly curious about that collision. Because there was something going on there that I didn't notice. Thank you all for watching.